or beside your media check. Kasi.
Absolutely.
And of course, in case you're just joining us, we've been having a conversation where we title The Change Begins with You. The change begins with me. And this is the National Core Value segment of the Sunnyside Show right here on Eagles 102.3 FM. This comes to you every Wednesday at 12 p.m. as from 12 p.m. And today at this second segment rather, we're going to be moving over to the next characteristics of a good citizen. We have been talking about respect for law and authority, obeying laws and respecting the rights of others and all of that. And now we're going to be moving to the civic responsibilities and participation, which is taking action to improve the community, such as voting, volunteering, and staying informed about local and national issues. I think we've also spoken about that. We've spoken about all of that. And then integrity and honesty, being truthful, being trustworthy, and acting with moral courage. But before we go on with this conversation, we have a message here on Facebook from Kesto Kelvin. He says tax payment is a norm and the right time to do, and the right thing to do. I guess that's what he wanted to say. But the issue and the question here is, what is our tax used for in Nigeria? We need to ask those questions before we can have full citizens' commitment. Well done, guys.
Well, thank you so much, Calvin, for that. Yes, I think that it just buttresses what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah.
About the fact that people would want to do these things naturally. It's just like when you say that a woman should submit to a man, the Bible has given that charge. However, that charge also comes with a clause that the husband should also in turn love the wife as Christ has loved the church. But most times you see that people only quote
Minister
the part
of God.
where people only quote where the Bible has said submit to the man. They
don't
leave
talk
out
about the man
fact
part.
that this submission comes as a result of something.
Yeah.
Now it's not only in the marriage dynamics; it also goes to our relationships with people, even in
people
our
too.
official relationships. When you expect that someone should do something like this, what is it coming with? What are the benefits that a person is going to see? Because you cannot expect me to give this and that is not coming, or maybe it is not coming on a fair term or on a fair basis. So it's not as if citizens entirely have an issue with paying taxes, but they hesitate. There is always that doubt because
you need to see
they don't
them
necessarily see what.
Oh
the
my
taxes are
God!
being
You need to
done
go
with.
to the streets and see them when this tax enforcement agencies, with I think in collaboration with AMAC and all of that, each time they are in the streets to exercise this, you need to see them and the commuters, them and the business owners having this one-on-one banter because the feel it's not their right to pay tax.
Because
they are being forced to pay tax.
Because they feel like they are not seeing
It's
the
not being
dividends.
useful.
Now, when people don't see the dividends, that's the issue. Now, there are still parts. I've been seeing a lot of Nigerians call out the government lately because there are some areas, even here in the FCT, where they have not seen electricity for months. And these guys are still being made to pay electricity bill. I sitting here, I can say that yes, where I live there is constant electricity, but that is not the same case with every other person. So for me, I would be happy to pay my NEPA bill. Let me say NEPA, even though it's no longer NEPA bill, but it's always going to be NEPA bill for us. So it's always going to be that. But for you to pay your light bill, you are happy because you know that light
you have
bill
constant
is going to
electricity.
come. You're going to see it, but when they don't see it, when they don't see the dividends, it's going to be difficult. And this is not even me holding brief for Nigerians, but I'm just saying that it takes two to tango. Like you as the government and you as the citizen, you have to work together. And when this does not happen, people will always express doubts. They'll be like, these taxes we are paying. Imagine that we are being told we have to endure hardship to a certain level because we are building. Okay, the citizens do not have a problem with building, but imagine in this situation where you are building and then you are now seeing that one government official's son is now cruising the latest Benz, let's say 2026 edition of Benz or 2026 of a vehicle, of a sophisticated vehicle, or you now see the children of a certain politician on a private yacht or even on a private jet having fun and everything, And in the midst of all of that, you are being told, you guys endure and
be
everything.
patient.
So it's not
gonna be
going
okay.
to work. So it takes two to tango. However, that does not mean that we do not have a responsibility.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility, and that goes to the civic responsibility, where we have the right to vote and be voted for. We have the right to also do what should make it work. Now, that is why you see that there are some people who will just wake up one and say, see this drainage in our community is not really working, so can we come together and
do
see
something
how we can
about
do
it?
Nigerians have been doing this constantly without even complaining. We see where private individuals and citizens take up to even making roads that the government should have done. Now, the road to where I live was done by a private company. That is their corporate social responsibility. They did it because they felt that since we are operating within this community, this is what we can do for them. That was supposed to be the role of the government, but that was not done. I don't know whatever happened, the intricacies and everything, but it was until these guys came to that particular area and started putting up their structures that they said, hey, okay, this is also going to benefit us because we are having a mall here. People are going to come to buy, people are going to come to shop, so they also need to have like a road. So we are not only serving ourselves, let's also do something that will benefit the community. So they put that road there, and I will give it up, I think they know themselves. I'm not going to call names, but they know themselves. And like, they really came through, because the dust that used to be on that road before,
so that's the joy of working together, the joy of working as in unity.
Yes, even though it was not entirely in their place, that should have been done by the government, but they took accountability, and
because they are the one living in this environment, so they suffer.
But there are a lot of other companies. There are a lot of other companies that have come to be in a particular place, and the only thing they do is like take from the citizens rather than give. We have a lot of big companies situated in certain locations here in Nigeria, where we see that the people are suffering from the consequences of whatever that particular company is producing. Yes, you see that the natural resources and whatever comes from that, they are inhaling it, and it is not good for them
at all.
We see several cases where these people have their lifespan is reduced because of what they are facing. Exactly. So it is, at the end of the day, it's not as if it's a forceful thing, but it's about you recognizing that as Nigerians, we also have civic responsibility.
Okay, because of time, because of time, we'll just open the phone lines in case there's someone that is enjoying this conversation and you want to join us, or you want to air your thoughts or your view, but please do that responsibly. Okay, our studio number is 0907353 0044 or 09087668888. You can also reach us via the WhatsApp on 09097054450. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go on. Okay, I think the network is not too healthy from his own location, because we can hear you, but you can hear us. Let's see. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Lilo.
Okay. Where are you calling from?
Abuja.
Where in Abuja?
Right now, city.
Okay.
It's just funny, you know. It's very funny when things of responsibility is coming up on air, and you have a nice guest that talk about it, and they demonstrate how Nigerians are supposed to, behave and all these, But in the other case, and the things is not real. There are things in the Bible that there are things in the Bible that are not real, that are not actually where how it's supposed to be. It's still there in the Bible. You see, I have opportunity to go to Togo. When we go to Togo, we get mandated to carry out some free medical care, and when you get to a particular country, you go around sort how to get phone, how to get people to sponsor the program. When we get to some office, they see us with Hilux, clean, nice Hilux. We all came out shiny from Nigeria with, good jeans, good sneakers. They now ask us, do you guys want money? You say yes. They say, okay, where do you get money to shine like this when you don't have money to fund a program? First, you have to go and sell the Hilux. Then you come to us and we add money for you guys to go and do that. Because there, you see government offices are owned by people. People own the building and the government now pay for the bill. But here in Nigeria, it's the other way around. Just like as your guest saying, the government are the one driving the good cars, their children going to the best school, and all the other citizens are just jumping along and be picking pocket with, and they will still tell you, even when your phone lost, they pick your pocket, they pick the small money you have, then the government official will come and tell you, don't worry, be patient, it will be nice. It will be nice, it will finish the 4 years, all the children will be in abroad. It will be nice, another person will come, it will be nice, finish the 4 years, went to abroad with the children. The other person come and tell you it will be nice. So how long is it going to be nice? So they have to show the example. When they show the example, if funny enough, you see somebody like me, I've been hustling for these years, for this country for years. I've never got a single naira or a single help from any government, either from the government sister or government official or nothing. I'm just hustling. Then somebody will now one day stop me and say, guy, you are an old man, pay tax. That person go find it funny. I'm telling you that day that person go find it funny. I still dey wait, but it never happened. But I still dey wait. Because the day it go happen, maybe news go carry up.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thought with us.
Have a nice.
Thank you. You too. Have a nice day. Yeah. In essence, just as Kestu said, everyone is looking up to the government to say, okay, until you're able to be transparent and say, okay, this tax that you're paying, this is what it's used for. This is how it's going. This is, of course, the government is using it. We're not saying they're not using it. But that accountability that the citizens are requesting for, to be transparent enough for them to see that, okay, we are working. Imagine now, since on Monday now, transport has skyrocketed again. So the place you usually pay like 400 naira is now 700. Place of 500 is now about 1,000 or 800. Sure. You understand? So all of that still brings the stress back to us, the poor masses. While, I don't know, but them that are up there still live their life and they are okay with it. I guess that's where all of this is coming from. Yes, but with that, I would just say that if you just want to be a good citizen, just do your part. But moving to the next conversation, the next topic rather, that we should be looking at amongst the characteristics of being a good citizen right here is respectful and tolerant. Being respectful and being tolerant, which treats others with courtesy and respect for their rights, opinions, and individual differences. And with that, a lot of us, I know that a lot of persons have a problem respecting each other's boundaries or respecting even the country's boundaries to say, okay, they put a law and say, today for insecurity reasons, because of insecurity reasons, there's going to be a curfew from this time to this time. We don't obey that. That is, in short, that is the time Nigerians will want to go out. That is the time we want to go and flex. So we have a problem respecting each other's rights, not even to talk about the one that is being placed by the government also. You have a thought about that?
Yeah, I think that you've said most of it. It's about understanding that where your right stops, that is where another person's
begins.
And it has to be about we tolerating ourselves because we are a beautiful one nation. However, there are a lot of dynamics when it comes to Nigeria about the fact that we have so many nations in one. And we must understand that truth. It's not about denying it because we have over 200 plus tribes, people. And I know they'll say, oh, 3 major tribes and everything. I do not subscribe to that. No tribe is major, no tribe is this. Everybody is the same because we all are made by one God. And the fact that we come from the same country, we should also know that we have the same rights as the other people from whatever part of the country. So yes, that is what it is about, and it's about understanding that we must learn to tolerate ourselves, whether going by religion and everything. And that is why this time something has happened really spectacular in a long time. The Christians, particularly the Catholics, and of course the Muslims, are having their fast at the same period,
back to back together.
And it all shows that at the end of the day, we really cannot run and hide from ourselves. But most times you see that there's always this tension between, they say, you're a Muslim,
you're a Christian, you're a Muslim.
Not forgetting that there are also other religions. Yes, when you look at our civic studies, you understand that our civic study also recognizes the place for worship. People can worship any god that they want. Yes,
it's a choice.
You have the right to worship.
Yeah, it's
you have
a choice.
The traditional worshippers. You choose to call them whatever names, but that is what they believe in. And then the Christians will say, this person is a pagan or this. But it all depends on what side you're looking at it from. The fact that I'm not a traditional worshipper does not mean that I should not respect your belief. You believe in your ancestors. I believe in a God that is, I think, is above all of us, a supreme God and everything. And there's someone who believes that, yes, I have to pray at least 5 times a day. Respect all of that, because at the end of the day, in all our differences, we are beautiful, and that is what makes Nigeria,
what makes us a nation.
Nigeria.
But that's what makes us a nation.
If we do not consider all of these things, by making sure that the society is just for everybody, we're going to have a problem.
We're going to have a problem, because at that time, I'm thinking about only me. I'm not thinking about you.
And that is why it's easy for someone to say, you are saying this, go back to your state. So imagine that the people, if people were actually going back to their state. Abuja, yes, they say Abuja is the FCT federal, but we have indigenous citizens. We have indigenous people from Abuja.
Absolutely.
We have indigenous people from here. So imagine they wake up one day and say, all of you go back to your state. I am not from Abuja, but I'm here thriving. So at the end of the day, we all must learn to respect each other, and also learn to tolerate the fact that we come from different parts. And that is the beauty of what makes Nigeria. It's not about denying there's that difference. We must acknowledge that difference for us to be able to forge ahead as citizens.
That's it. You've said it all already, and for the course of time, this might just be where we'll have to end this conversation right here. And in case you're just joining us, we have been having a conversation, and this is the National Core Value segment of the Sunnyside Show. And today on the show, we looked at some of those characteristics that makes you a good citizen. And of course, we couldn't, attempt all of them, but we spoke about law abiding, which is respect laws, rules, and authority, including paying taxes and respecting properties. Yes, we didn't talk about this respecting properties. A lot of them have been going about vandalizing the traffic lights, the solar lights. Like in this Aziz of Lokogoma here, there were some areas that the government came and installed a solar light, the security street solar light, right? Now, we don't know those set of people that don't want good thing in this country. They will come and go from pole to pole, removing all the lights.
Very unfortunate. And they will say that, it's for the government.
Very unfortunate.
But you do not know that this is taxpayers' money. It's public funds.
It's public funds. It's public funds.
And if you private pockets, you're still going to pay for it somehow.
If you go through this as I'm talking about now, as from 7 p.m. is very, very dark. But now they fix that solar light, so once there is no electricity, the solar light is always there, so the street is looking like a city, of course, up to the Apple resettlement and all of that. But there was this time, those guys, I don't know who they are, but please, that's what we're talking about. Respect the property, respecting the property that is placed there to serve us. So when you steal it, and then a few weeks ago too, there were some guys that were apprehended at Apple resettlement there. Those guys are out for an electricity wire. Like they dig the wire from the ground, uproot it, like pull it out.
Because they have people who are buying. Because for every seller, there has to be a buyer.
Yes, for every seller, there must.
Even the manholes.
I love how you put that. Yeah, for every seller, there must be a buyer.
The manholes and everything, they vandalize the things because they have someone they are selling to.
And then you can imagine these areas now won't have electricity because
of this act.
of this act. So please, when we talk about respect, law-abiding citizen, we're talking about respecting of the laws, rules, and authority, including paying of taxes, respecting properties to maintain public order. Bikonu. And then we also spoke about civic engagement, which is actively participate in the democratic process, which is voting during duty, staying informed, and of course contribute to community improvement that Cassandra right here talked about. And then respect and tolerance, which is treat others with courtesy, respect their rights, opinions, and individual differences. Treat each other very, very well. Because I love this part of it, Cassandra, because when we talk about respect and tolerance, sometimes I love to always, take this back to relationship. I love to always, set example with relationship, because I noticed that recently a lot of persons just go in and go out. We no longer have that space for tolerance. We no longer have that space for respect of boundaries. We no longer have that space for understanding each other. So you can see that this is also part of it. And before you know that, we'll be counted among the country with a high range of divorce and separation and all of that. But please, so for us to maintain this law and order and be a good abiding citizen of a country, we have to respect and tolerate each other. Next week, we'll take you through the remaining part of these characteristics of being a good citizen. What do you say? Your final thoughts?
So absolutely, and I would just wrap up by saying that we all owe ourselves a responsibility, whether our citizens or even those that are leading. Yes, from being led to also being the ones leading. It starts from how you're doing as a citizen before it manifests as a leader or when you become a leader. So yes, we owe Nigeria a lot. Nigeria could be a lot more better than it is right now if we really want to do better.
A good citizen strengthens society by obeying laws, respecting the rights of others, actively participating in the democratic process, contributing to the community through volunteering, and staying informed about local and national issues. We'll see you at the next segment of 1 o'clock, which is the Eagles Oldies. Don't touch that dial. Holy Ray, aka the Queen of Media, is still right here.
All right, I am Cassandra. Keep listening to Eagles FM.